Chapter 2. A Crash Course in Not Dying. The silence that followed the creature's retreat was somehow louder than the chaos it had replaced. It was a dead, heavy quiet, thick with the smell of ozone and the dust of shattered plaster. Leo stood frozen in the middle of his ruined living room, his knuckles white around the obsidian block. His heart hammered against his ribs like a trapped bird. The woman, his rescuer, wasn't looking at him. She was methodically checking the damage, her movements economical and precise. She ran a gloved hand over the splintered window frame, then paced to the rippling crater in the wall, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Okay," Leo finally managed to say, his voice a ragged whisper. The sound was pathetic in the stillness. He cleared his throat and tried again, forcing a sliver of indignation into his tone. "Okay, what the hell was that? And who the hell are you?" The woman didn't turn around. "That," she said, tapping the wall where the beast had phased through, "was a griever. As for me, the name's Ilara, and I'm the one who just saved you from having your soul used as a chew toy." "A griever," Leo repeated, the word feeling alien and absurd on his tongue. "You say that like I should be taking notes for a pop quiz. That thing came out of my wall." "They do that," Alara said with a distinct lack of sympathy. She finally turned to face him, her sharp eyes flicking from his face down to the object in his hands. "What you're holding is the Umbral Codex. Grievers are drawn to it like cosmic guard dogs." "Codex? Guard dogs?" Leo's mind was a frantic scramble of denial and terror. This was a hallucination. It had to be. "This is a paperweight. My great-uncle sent it to me. He was an eccentric old historian, not some wizard." A dry, mirthless smile touched Alara's lips. "The universe doesn't care about your reason, kid. There's a barrier between your world, the one with spreadsheets and bad pizza, and the one with things like grievers. It's called the Veil. It's thin, it's frayed, and you, thanks to that family heirloom, just fell right through it." She gestured around the trashed apartment. "Welcome to the other side. It's not as fun as it sounds." A low, scraping sound echoed from behind the damaged wall. "Scrappa, scratch, like giant claws dragging across stone." The whisper started again, faint and insidious, slithering back into the corners of Leo's mind. "Warden, return the prison." Leo flinched, his grip tightening on the codex. The cold from it seemed to seep deeper into his bones, a chilling counterpoint to the fear heating his blood. "It's still out there. It's not gone, it's regrouping." Alara confirmed, her weary expression hardening. The silver wounds on her arms pulsed with a soft, residual light. "My wards will hold it off for a little while, but they're not permanent. I specialize in warding, but my power isn't infinite. We need to move." "Move where? To an asylum?" Leo shot back, a hysterical edge to his voice. "Look, I don't know who you are or what kind of lapping convention you just escaped from, but I'm a data entry clerk from the suburbs. I organize files for a living. I don't fall through veils or fight grievers." Alara took a step closer, her patience visibly wearing thin. "The thing that just tried to kill you doesn't care if you believe in it. It cares about the codex. You touching it has activated it, attuned it to you. That's why the griever came for you. It thinks you're the new warden." "Warden." The word echoed the whispers in his head. The impossible situation was beginning to form a terrifying, cohesive narrative. He was no longer just a passive victim of a random break-in, he was a target. His scraping from the wall grew more frantic. A deep, resonant thump shook the floor, rattling the few remaining objects on his bookshelf. The faint, glowing silver symbol Alara had left in the air flickered like a dying light bulb. "It's pushing," Alara said, her voice tight. She drew her silver knife again, its clean edge a stark contrast to the encroaching shadows. "It's learning the shape of my wards, looking for a weakness." Panic seized Leo in a cold grip. They were trapped. She said her magic was limited. The griever was tireless. It was a simple, horrifying equation that ended with them dead. He stared down at the codex in his hands, at the impossible, shifting geometric patterns carved into its surface. It was the cause of all this. This was its fault. He wanted to hurl it away, to renounce it, to tell the monster outside it could have the damn thing. But as he stared, a strange thing happened. The patterns, which had been a confusing, eye-watering jumble, began to resolve. It was like his brain, the part of him that spent 8 hours a day finding obscure patterns and meaningless data, had finally found a problem worthy of its skill. The lines and swirls weren't random. They were a language, a schematic. And as the griever slammed against the wall again, harder this time, causing a crack to snake up toward the ceiling, the codex flooded his mind. It wasn't a voice, it wasn't words. It was pure, instantaneous knowledge, a stream of data downloaded directly into his consciousness. He saw the griever's nature, not as a monster but as a construct of psychic energy and dimensional law. He saw its purpose, implacable, impersonal, absolute, and he saw its anchor, the one fundamental principle it could not defy. It wasn't silver, the knife had hurt it, yes, but only because of Alara's intent, her power focused through the metal. The creature's true vulnerability was more elemental, more mundane. Iron wrought and cold, unalloyed. It grounds the ethereal, it binds the unnameable. Pure iron severs the connection. The griever let out a psychic shriek of fury, and the ward on the wall shattered into 1,000 glittering shards of light. The drywall groaned, beginning to bulge inward. Alara braced herself, planting her feet. "Get ready to run, kid. On my mark." "Iron," Leo yelled, the word bursting from him, raw and certain. "Its weakness is iron, pure iron." Alara froze mid-crouch. The cynical, battle-hardened mask on her face fell away, replaced by sheer, unadulterated shock. She slowly turned to look at him, her sharp eyes wide with disbelief. The griever's shadow was already starting to pour through the new cracks in the wall, but she seemed momentarily oblivious to it. "What did you just say?" she breathed, her voice losing all its earlier gravelly confidence. "It's iron," Leo repeated, his own voice shaking with the aftershock of the revelation. He looked from the codex to her stunned face. "That's how you really hurt it. That's how you kill it." The question hung in the air between them, more powerful than the monster trying to break through the wall. It wasn't, "Are you sure?" It wasn't how. It was the unspoken, dreadful truth that had just dawned on her. How could a clueless civilian, a data entry clerk from the suburbs, possibly know the fundamental weakness of a creature like the griever, unless the prison itself had told him?